Yo,
Yo, what's up, Rich?
what's good, bro?
Not too much. How are you doing?
Shit, doing good, man. This another day in a good old Matrix. You know what I mean? Shoot, another day of meetings and stuff like that. Had some pretty good meetings today, and got some
Yeah,
stuff lined up for this week. So,
nice.
yeah.
What meetings did you have today?
I had a meeting with the Bitcoin mining company that's out in Western Kansas. Um, that think that we're going to possibly collaborate on some stuff. You know, see how that
Sweet.
might work out and some possible opportunities there. So
Okay.
kind of works out with some
I'm
of the
really
things that,
promising.
yeah. So it's kind of lining up with some of those things. So then got some meetings this week for Produce Matrix. So I mean, shoot, it's a lot of things cranking up. Just trying to, because right now, I think, and shoot, it's even crazy that you have the website up because I was going to talk about that.
I want to finish building this on our call today. I think
Yeah,
if that's possible.
no, that'd be dope because, like I said, I think things are starting to roll together, and now people, oh snap, yeah, people are
So
starting to.
I've done some work on this.
That's dope. That's dope
Uh,
already.
I can't move our heads, I don't think, but like if you go to unipro.com/produce matrix, you should be able to see the rest of the form. But
That's dope. That's
um,
all dope.
and then here's the other thing I've been working on.
Oh snap! Let's
So
go.
here's the Nimbus Rich. This is the NFT template page. Basically, I can fill out all the information and upload all of these. We might want to do this in a spreadsheet, but
Yeah.
anyways, you click on this, it takes you right to the OpenSea listing. I haven't gotten
Oh,
to the collections page, but you'll be able to display all your NFTs on the website, I think, even by the end of our call tonight if you want.
bro, hey, let's do it, bro. Because I think one, we figure out a way to package that because I think that is a dope thing to do for especially talking to artists and then be like, hey, you can now be able to create NFTs talking with me, and now we can be able to put that on your website to where people can go straight to it. Because obviously, again, that's not being offered in Kansas City, so why not be the ones to offer that?
Also, I totally agree. But also, I wanted you to see this. I gave this like a responsive element to make the matrix super 3D and hard to break, which is kind of like real life or whatever.
Oh, that's fuck, bro. What the hell? Look, you guys are seeing some of the best talent, and right now, you guys are seeing all this crazy stuff. And this guy, doesn't even have the backing to do so. All this right now, just imagine it times 100-fold. Once you get behind Playhouse, this is the type of stuff you guys are going to get, because you can't even, you like I said, it's like I didn't ask most of this stuff. I didn't ask for. This is just straight up off the top of the dome. He already understood where I was trying to go, and this is why I say, like I said, Playhouse and Connor, what you guys are doing, it's. I can't wait to see once you get that capital infusion and stuff like that, because I think that it's going to be some sick stuff to come around for sure.
We do have to put a disclaimer out there. Like, you've done a lot of research on this project beforehand, and you are a very articulate person. So it was very easy to follow the idea with solid business foundation and fundamentals. So it's like, okay, yeah, let's do that. Let's punch this up. Yeah. Anyways, you've done your work. So, like, don't discredit that either.
Hey, I appreciate it, dog, because, I mean, and just looking at it from, oh, man.
I'm sure we can make it better, but this is my first pass at some of this stuff.
Yeah, no, for me, I just see it as just like, I'm just happy to at least have a thing that I can be like, okay, like I can at least show, it's like, hey, this is what it's going to be. And people are like, oh, okay, I get it. I don't have to repeat it 30 million times. It's like, here, you can just go to the website and stuff like that.
I learned about it. And, as always, ChatGPT, of course, was involved in me doing the work.
Always. It's so great, because it was funny, because in our class when the teacher was like, how many of you guys use ChatGPT? And we were like, yep, we did. Not wasting no time.
Well, and like, it's like, why wouldn't you use these tools to help you out? Obviously, the point Mark's making, of course, is we got to go out and do customer discovery. Every business needs to do that. But I know you're doing that, and I know I'm doing that. So it's like, my documentation, it doesn't match the homework deliverable. I'm just going to use ChatGPT to get it there.
Exactly. Because it's like, if I know that the goal is to take, I don't know, this food from Kansas to Missouri, and I know that I could walk it there, or I could put it in a car and drive it there, it'd be pretty foolish for me to be like, you know what, because this is the right way to do it, I'm going to walk it to Kansas. No, that makes absolutely, that's literally what going into school now, I could only imagine being a kid now and a teacher being like, hey, go do this homework, when I could literally look it up, get the whole lesson plan taught to me how I need it taught. And then basically it allows you as a student to be able to kind of adapt to school. It's like, I was terrible at calculus. What if I could have it teach me calculus like a 5-year-old?
I wish they would have taught calculus that way. Maddie kind of is good at teaching calculus like a 5-year-old. She's really good at calculus, but it didn't start making sense till I started talking to her about what I actually understood about calculus. And I'm not going to go in and say like I understand calculus at all, but it makes more sense now than it ever did when I took it in high school, or again in college, because I took it more than once, not because I was good at it, but because I was bad at it.
Hell yeah, bro. And that's the thing, man. And that's why it's like, and especially too, I think that was even a great thing as well, that, shout out to the UMKC, venture class, that they allowed us to use that, because there's some educational programs where they'll be like, oh, well, no, because the teacher doesn't understand how it can help. It's like, now you want me to spend 3-4 hours doing something that I could have got done in 15 seconds.
Right. And it's like, no, be effective with your time. That's another piece of entrepreneurship. And they're essentially validating that, which is good.
No, that's definitely
UMKC good. Is at least.
Shout out to UMKC, man. Shout out to UMKC. But yeah, bro. So just, I mean, kind of just going over what you kind of gone over so far. So I guess, I'll let you take the wheel and kind of show me, or we can kind of go over the website and see what we gotta go back and forth between, Web3 and obviously Web3, AI, and throwing in some extra stuff.
Yeah, we can do. I mean, let's just talk about whatever. But I can tell you what I feel like the website still needs to have done, and it'd be great to have your input, and we can just knock these off kind of like one at a time.
Okay.
So the next step is, now that I have this designed here for the NFT. So one, we can review the copy and the images and regenerate to produce what you want exactly on this slide. And we should probably do that first.
Okay.
And the reason why I say that is to make sure you have this resource to go off and sell with once we're done with this conversation.
Show
Um,
off. I can show it off in class, which
it,
works for me and works for you because I'm like, hey, Playhouse did my website, and this is what Playhouse offers currently, and this is how we're doing this synergy right here. So you get the MVP from Playhouse and get my MVP in the same boat.
that's perfect. It's like a win-win here.
Yeah.
I'd be all for that personally, but let's make sure that we get this right to how you want it before we do that for sure.
We have
Uh,
Jarvis, bro. We'll be all right. We'll be okay.
it's
I'm
true.
sure.
We'll
All right.
make it work one way or another. That's for sure.
All right.
But yeah, so we should start there, and then if there are any changes to this page that you'd like to make, we could go do this next. Um, but ultimately, we'll need to upload one more example from the Nimbus Rich collection, and then I know you have 3 other collections, but only 2 of them are on OpenSea. So I'm just gonna set up the 2 OpenSea collections first because the
I'm
way
about to
that I
start a
built
Solana collection here soon too. So
Sweet. Because I know you have your Rarible collection also.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, you know me. I'm about to start adapting and just start putting more of my stuff out there. So we'll have more stuff to kind of mess with different chains and stuff like that. It's a big guinea pig project.
100%. And so you'll notice this is the Safari logo, not the OpenSea logo. So there's a lot of placeholders that I have to work through. This is very much still a rough draft.
Yeah,
So the way I have it set up, it will only work for OpenSea right now. So I'm going to get the 3 OpenSea collections done first. And
cool.
then I'm going to, in another session, have to come back to figuring out solving the problem of doing multiple chains.
Yeah,
But I have an idea for that. I've already tracked like a variable for it. So OpenSea has a variable. Um, the trick for me is getting this image logo to change when I change the name,
mm.
if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
I have to figure out how to do that, and I don't know how long it's going to take me.
Yeah,
Uh,
no, I mean, just on the small side, like I said, if you just want to just do the one, because again,
yeah,
like right now, my main concern really, I don't really see any NFTs being sold right now. It's just being able to have that place that now, essentially for me, I
it's
think that it'll
true.
be when I start talking to other people and stuff like that. It's like, hey, this is what it can be done, and then they're like, oh my god, how did you? I've never seen somebody have NFTs so well organized on a website, and I don't have to. I'll be like, then now, obviously, like what we talked about, I'll be like, hey, I got my business partner. It can basically do the exact same thing. You just more or less kind of fit those in those templates, and then that's how we kind of go on the commission side of things to just figure out how we can roll that out too.
100%. And so what I'm just trying to say is I only have one channel I figured out. I have to solve a problem to make sure we can support multiple channels.
Yeah, no, we'll start. Like I said, we'll start it off on the first channel, and that would just be an offering. So, like, since it's just Ethereum, I'm assuming, right? For
Yep,
now,
just OpenSea, really.
yeah. So
Uh,
OpenSea
we,
just to
we,
start.
yep. But the good news is, well, good-ish news is that we can do any cryptocurrency. So we could do the Solana. If you mint something on Solana on OpenSea, we could display it. But
Hmm.
not sure that's the best place to sell a Solana NFT if you're looking to sell it at the same time.
Yeah, maybe
So
like a Magic Eden or something like that.
exactly. And the thing is, I need to figure it out for multiple reasons, not just this website. It's you know, I just know that we're not going to get it done tonight is all I'm saying.
Oh yeah, no,
Uh,
for sure, bro. Like I said, I mean, even just the improvements on the website itself, I was like, holy shit. I was literally just talking about, oh, that'd be cool if we could just kind of mess around with the website and start kind of touching that up. And then I come and lo and behold, basically everything's all kind of touched up and we're just kind of just polishing those things up. And I'm like, huh, this manifestation kind of thing kind of works, man.
well, I'm glad it worked out serendipitously like that because I was
Hell
like,
yeah,
I
bro.
need to blow off steam. I've been having a good week, but not having the best day, but also having a pretty good day at the same time. It's like weird mixed emotions.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, basically, we've been interviewing with the Techstars Web3 Accelerator since
Yeah.
like December. We had like 4, 5, 6. I forget how many times we met with them. It
Man.
was quite a few times. They told us they had 600 applicants, and I have no idea where we landed other than the top 50. But we didn't make it, and
Mm.
we found out today. We were supposed to find out like a week and a half ago, which says it was competitive, and we got a really nice email they kind of said the same. But it sucks to get rejections, and now I I've gotten 3 of them in the last month and a half, basically. The Solana incubator and also Y Combinator, and
Yeah.
it's just like defeating on some level. Takes the wind out of you a little bit,
Yeah.
and was frustrated, but also it's like whatever. Still know my project's good and keep going. They didn't say my project was bad, and they said the project was really good. In fact,
Yeah.
but
I think one
won't
of the
say
things.
no. But
Yeah, no, I think that one of the things, and I think that especially when it comes to the encompassing idea of Playhouse, is that most of the people, for them to really grasp the problem, it's like the Matrix.
yeah,
You don't realize you're in a food desert until literally your food sources are cut off because you have no power, and then you realize, oh shit, I have no access to any of this stuff. So most of these businesses that are, it's kind of like in the concept with like the whole Bitcoin thing, is that they can deny that Bitcoin's better money or cryptocurrency is better money. But then now, like when people get axed out of their bank account and the only thing accessible to them is cryptocurrency, you start realizing, what have we been doing? And I think that it's going to kind of be that same kind of concept of, for instance, we're moving in this AI space. We're putting all our data on these platforms. Who is holding the keys to the data? Most people that are in this space don't even understand the value behind data and how much one little cookie can make on the back end for evaluation for a company.
yeah,
And basically how every single place you go to literally is a crumbs of money for them to follow you and figure out exactly what you're doing. But somebody like yourself knows and has seen from the mega view at Google and saying that, oh, I see where this is going, especially now with AI literally, like you said, gobbling up all the cookies. It wasn't until you explained that concept that I didn't really understand the concept behind the value of cookies. Now I'm like, I get on websites and I'm like, no, I don't want you to follow I don't want you to have any of my cookies. Like,
right. And at the same time, I'm like, this is the lifeblood of small businesses, and they're just complying with the law. I'm like, okay, you can have my cookies for them at the same time, because I'm like, you know, I'm being stalked around the internet whether I like it or not, because bigger companies are buying data on me because the cookies aren't working for them. Like they're
exactly.
enriching the data anyways, and then we're really just hurting the little guys with these notices. But that's
Exactly.
everything with regulation. Every time the regulators come in, it just helps. What do they call it? Regulatory capitalism, maybe.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, that makes a lot of sense.
and
Basically,
regulatory capture. Regulatory capture.
makes sense. And
So
and yeah, and I think that's where like, and I was reading in this book recently. It was just like a lot of times, and especially when you're building such a big idea, I think it's probably one of the better things for you to get rejections and hear no's because of the fact that you might get a yes and connect with the wrong person that doesn't end up taking you where you need to go. And
mhm.
especially with something like what you're doing, I think that it may be even a collaboration or a concept that essentially maybe it's a connection from something that, what we're doing with Produce Matrix, that it ends up bringing the concept to be like, oh, okay, hey, we want the data to make sense, or like, hey, we want to pack our data and we don't want our proprietary stuff to be on the blockchain. In this case, we want Playhouse to double blind the concept. And then now
Sure.
people be like, why are they doing that? Well, we're doing this because if we put all our information out here, OpenAI has already said that they're going to take everything on the internet.
Mhm. And
Game,
they've
so
already done it.
they've already done it. And now it's okay. When are you going to take your proprietary information and put it in your safe to know the same way you cold storage your cryptocurrency? Because you have to do that. If not, somebody's borrowing, lending, selling all your information.
All of it.
And I think that's why, like I said, for me, it hit home. I didn't have to fully grasp the technical concept. But for me,
Mhm.
it's like once you hear, like, everybody knows what Facebook's doing, everybody knows now OpenAI is doing that on steroids. But again, most people, even in like the tech stars, they can't grasp the concept because they're building businesses that are selling data.
I don't want to say that they couldn't grasp the concept, because the three leaders we spoke with definitely grasped the concept, and we had
Okay.
great conversations with them. So And I appreciate your perspective 100%. But just as we're putting it out there, because I doubt they'll see this, but in case they do, I appreciated the process for what it was worth.
Oh yeah. No doubt on that for
Yeah,
sure. I just think that it's such a big
they
idea that
they told me why they passed in essence.
hmm,
I don't know if it was them or if it was their board or it was them and their board exactly, because it seems like this was a protracted discussion in general.
yeah.
But it came down to basically we're too much of a Web 2 company. And that's not the way they put it, that's the way I read it. But it's
Hmm.
basically we're operating as an agency and we're not focused enough on Web 3. So we're just not enough of a Web 3 company for their portfolio.
Well, the problem is where we're at. If you went full Web3, you wouldn't have any clients.
Yeah, and I wouldn't have any money and I couldn't afford it. And
And
that's unfortunately the reality that VCs don't like to. Well, Rich, it comes down to this. They want to have a lot more control and equity of your business. And if you are incapable of producing revenue from 0 to 1, then and you need funding, they have a lot more leverage and influence in the business. And
hmm,
I'm not saying that's what it came down to with them by any means. It could have been um, they didn't think that Playhouse would play nice with the other products in the portfolio down the road somehow,
yeah,
or whatever, because a lot of their thesis could be like, oh, I could see this company acquiring this company when they choose the people they put in contact with each other, you
yep.
know
But if
so
Playhouse comes in the sandbox and Playhouse is basically not to say the ego death of data selling, but more or less like putting like what you said is like according to their portfolio, kind of like the conversation we had, is
mhm.
that their Web2 businesses are their valuations are built off for basically what Playhouse is building in favor of the user.
for
So
for sure. And it could also be that they like the idea of a more fragmented digital identity, and Playhouse is going for a more comprehensive single identity system.
mm,
But our emphasis is just making sure that it's double blinded and in control of the individual.
yep. And the only thing, and then basically it becomes a service where it's like just to get that double blind service, it's like an opt out. It's like you get to choose whether you want to be in the traditional internet where everybody and their mom can sell your stuff, or you can opt out and get into this place where you can choose who uses your data
A
over
hundred
time.
percent. And that's another thing. Investors don't believe that users want to choose that. And I agree with them. I can't convince them that users want to choose that and are willing to pay for that. Because that's too much of a jump and a leap from where we're at today.
Yeah.
But that's why I always get back to the advertising piece. I'm like, if I do this for small business owners, I am securing an individual user's data, and then I'm also making it useful to them. I
Yeah.
solve the problem, but they don't like it or something. Or
Because now that, wow, I didn't really even think about that because, and we're kind of, not to say we're even getting on topic because this is what we even use our calls for, but it's like, you're basically doing the MVP version of essentially what Playhouse is doing because of the simple fact that you're taking all the user data from these small business owners who need their data and information the most. I can't be putting my stuff on Amazon because Amazon's going to have all my data analytics and sell that off and do all what they need to do. But if I own my domain and I own my website and I own all the data and analytics, I control or decide what the valuation of my company is because of the fact that I hold the keys to that information. Just like no, not your keys, not your crypto, not your keys, not your data. And for me, it's like it didn't really kind of dawn on me until I'm like, okay, like because if you start with obviously small businesses, you start with the small fish, small businesses, entrepreneurs, they obviously want their data. The small everyday person probably doesn't care. Yeah, great. We're not here for them. The small
yeah,
business
yeah,
entrepreneur, yet,
yeah.
exactly, yet. But the key market is small businesses and entrepreneurs, essentially, that are in data intensive industries, music, arts, that you need to be able to pull from that space. But at the same time, too, you don't want to be pulled and essentially leveraged against in your own industry.
Hmm.
So Wow, that's really I didn't even really realize that. Now it just makes now the whole agency's sense makes that much more sense.
Yeah, and the agency takes it even one step further when you think about record labels, right?
Hmm.
Because one of the problems that small businesses have, um, which is why we like agencies as a distribution model, but one of the small businesses, even when you've got their data organized, they depending on if they're under $2 million a year in revenue, they're probably not big enough to have enough data to really optimize their platform. It's probably somewhere between 500,000 and 2 million that it becomes viable, and
Mm.
it's probably industry specific. And you know, anyways, my main point is what those companies need most is data enrichment tools, and those are really expensive, and they're only for enterprise companies.
Yeah,
Um, but companies like Yelp essentially get access. In this case, we're not talking about the record label. We're talking about like
they
plumbers.
play they place as that third party in between the person that would have to normally pay that crazy upfront cost. They just give you the ability to do it at a cheaper rate.
Right. So yeah, there's that. So they basically are reselling you ad placements on their platform, right?
Mm. Yep.
And they're also buying ads for themselves in on the platforms you're trying to buy ads in front of the same customers, if
Mm.
that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah.
So um, basically, because Yelp has all of these businesses on their website, and all these customers come to their website to find these businesses to get the services, Yelp has all of the data on those industries' customers.
Mm.
And that's what they're using to buy the ads more effectively than any of the small businesses, because each of the small businesses only have their data to look at, not all of the other businesses in their industry, like Yelp
Oh.
does. And so,
Oh wow.
what double blind data pooling does allows all the businesses in the industry to get the advantage Yelp has, but kick Yelp out of the equation and recoup that margin for themselves,
Mm.
basically giving them the Yelp effect across the industry, to compete against the larger companies in their industry, because that becomes an equalizer for them. If they have access to the data pool, the large private equity backed companies that are multi state and regional versus the mom and pop Main Street businesses become equalized in terms of the advertising efficiency they can achieve. Because that's one of the private equity strategies today is buying up Main Street businesses and turning them into regional branded conglomerates, um, for brand recognition
Yeah.
and standardization and whatever, but it's also cheaper from an advertising perspective. So,
Wow.
anyways, TLDR is basically like Web3 continues to provide ways for the little guy to cut out intermediaries. And the intermediary in this case is Yelp to small businesses. But in the same way that that works for small businesses, like a group of plumbers, this is what makes record labels so powerful. Is record labels are genre specific usually, um, and so all of the artists on the roster probably share fans to some degree. So you
Hmm.
can pool their data together, to make the artists grow faster.
Being
Um,
able to aggregate that data to
Repurpose
do
their
things like
fan data, cross pollinate them, and
you could be
activate.
able to you can be able to collaboratively put concerts together to which now you don't have to guess on whether those fans are involved with those oh my goodness.
Yeah, so you can do all of those things between agency or record labels as well, and
Hmm.
collaborate across the industry also. Like,
Mm.
yes, that would, and that's the entire point of that Snob app we were trying to build,
Yeah.
100%. But everything comes down to money and cash flow, and like at the end of the day, all I can do is afford to support my current clients and inch towards building Growbot.
Mm.
And then
Yeah.
also these like fun projects, hoping that someone I'm supporting eventually like makes it big and I can get a contract from them.
Well,
So
that's the plan here too. That's what we're trying to do here with Produce Matrix. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to get that money so that way we can get contracted up and we ain't gotta ask no more for permission. We just start doing, you know what I mean?
100%, man. That's where I want to be. I want to just be helping people do what they need to do.
Yeah. No, I think that especially too, like Because even speaking of, the with the DAO, I think that what you're building right now, that's something that can possibly get contracted through the DAO. And the fact that, hey, we'll take those Web2 businesses and build them Web3 eccentric websites to where you can buy their NFTs that we will help them create using the artists that we already know
Mhm.
and going about that whole business. And then now we figure out, like I said, we got, people like Amani, we got Maddie that are already artists, and we say, hey, they can do the art stuff for you guys.
Mhm.
And then now what we do as the tech heads, we just say, all right, no different from what we're doing with, Easy Main Street and stuff like that. We create a basically uh just a basically a system to where it's like, okay, they would sit down with me and you, just like how we do, figure out what we need. We now take whatever art kind of things they would need. We send it to the ladies, let them put together that kind of stuff. And then now we bring it back, do some revisions. Boom. Now okay, how many NFTs want to do? All
Yep.
right, great. Now we have a website. If we need to go as far as maybe a minting page, we can probably help them with that as well too, if it gets into that. But now for most businesses, they probably won't even know what a minting page is. So it just probably just needs to create a simple place to go to get to OpenSea. And then now you can be able to purchase those or be able to display them. And then maybe they want to have an event, which now we can also help with hosting, sponsoring, things like that, and say,
Mhm.
hey, we will help teach how to get a wallet, how to do the whole process. And now what we end up doing is just onboarding every business that's in Web 2, which that's all of Kansas City, literally into Web 3 businesses from every single industry. And again, we can do this how obviously we're trying to collaborate, but at the same time too, I think that us two knowing what we know, this is something that we can do on our own. And what I'm saying, it's like, now that I'm seeing the tools that you're putting together with the website, now that you have the ability to add those Web3 things, it's like, I think that that's something that we can be able to go to a high tides and be like, hey, we can be able to put NFTs together for you guys. What kinds you want? You want just your image, your logo? Cool. We'll make 100 of those. Boom. We'll put it on your website. Boom. Done. This is how much it's going to cost. Everybody's good. All right, cool. Because looks great. Honestly, bro. If I'm just going to be 100% honest.
Well, I appreciate that, and I try my best. I just think all of these are rough drafts till a real designer touches them. To be honest.
Hey, shit, it's better than what I've seen from real designers. Because I'm not gonna lie, I've been seeing this is the reason why I say a lot of my things is because, bro, I've been seeing a lot of pages ever since I started coming with you. I've seen a lot of pages that now I kind of like get real. Let me say, I get snobbish now. I've really become a snob now because now I look at other web pages and I'm just like, this shit's trash. Like it's like most people are just now going to a Fiverr or somebody to get it for the cheap rates, and you can tell. And it's no different from our arts. It's like people put a banana on the wall and call it art now. Now everybody's a website designer and just says, "Oh, I can do," like what you said. Some people say, "Oh, well, I can pay anybody to do WordPress." Okay, you're going to get anybody websites too. And
True.
so, I mean, I can go on and on, but like I said, I just want to make sure I give you your flowers because you're doing great stuff, bro. And I said you're doing it with a lot of the resources that a lot of these bigger companies that have full-time resources and people can't do, and that just speaks to what you're doing right now.
Rich, it's really awesome working with you. So I can't say how much I appreciate that. Also,
Hey, we just getting started, bro. But yeah, let's get into the fun stuff, man. Let's get into the fun
yeah.
stuff. We over here doing the sappy, sentimental stuff. People are like, oh my god, these guys, so much
Hey,
bro love, man.
I, we don't have any fans yet, but one day they're just gonna be like, "Oh my god, it was there from
Oh,
the
it's
beginning."
so great. Can we send donations? Send Solana. Send it to the wallet. Send it to the address. Airdrop.
Address in bio.
Yeah.
Donations welcome.
We're taking, like, yeah, we're taking bunk, used car. We take it all. Just send it to the address. You know what I mean?
I'm a milk maxi at the moment.
Hey, look, we changed. Look, at this point, bro, we can literally change by episodes. It's like whatever bags we want to stack, we'd be like, hey, we're taking this today. We're pumping it. Obviously we don't want to do no shilling, but we're like, hey,
No. Well, I
whatever
mean,
you got, we'll bring
full
utility.
disclosure. When milk crashed really really hard, I bought a bunch of tokens because I have this idea that memes are evergreen, and I just think Sydney Sweeney as a meme will keep coming back.
Bro,
So
I was just thinking, you said, so it's milk.
yeah,
bro. What if? Let me just throw a crazy concept. If a dairy farmer, right, started accepting milk tokens
Mm-hmm.
for milk,
Right? Like,
I
why
that's
not though?
like all it takes is one almond milk brand, to be like, you know what? Hey, we are behind milk, and we think milk does great things for people. We're gonna start accepting milk. People will start losing their minds,
I,
and and that's
I,
where the
I
economy is gonna go, bro.
dude, it'd be so fucking great.
Can you imagine
It,
the economy that's literally?
if, if we could make milk happen, I'm all for it. Because, like, I just want to do all these got milk meme jokes and all of this stuff. But, like, the reality is, Sydney Sweeney already saw this meme token of her, and it mooned because she tweeted about it, and it crashed because the guy who created it got on a Twitter space, and it's a total jabroni, basically.
Oh my
Um,
god.
and I don't know if he runs the Twitter account or not.
Uh-huh.
But I gave him the idea of starting a Milkman channel because uh, because when used car had its day, before back in like November, December when used car was popping off.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, basically, I don't even know how to say this. I got added to a Twitter group, I guess,
Yeah.
with 200 other people, where we were just exchanging memes to flood Twitter with that
Yeah.
were used car memes,
Yeah.
um, right? Because that's how you pump that's how you pump awareness and
Yeah.
get people to FOMO in, basically. And he hadn't done that, so I just like tweeted him a screenshot when Milkmen group, and it was a screenshot of used car salesman. And so then I got added to it, got credit for it, which was cool. That picked me up some followers.
Bro, I'm
A Twitter
telling you,
growth
bro.
strategy I'm sharing right now. This is not financial advice, just Twitter growth strategy. But, but anyways, you can see that milk. So basically, I bought back in right around here,
Yeah.
and I had a little mini pump, and now it's back down-ish again. But I think by the summertime, if Solana's really up, that all the meme coins will start pumping again.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I have a good feeling about milk. I have a good feeling about milk. I think there's
Bro.
so many, like I like milk, I like corn, I like I like Bach.
This is exactly why no Web2 investors and shit like that don't take us in crypto serious, is because we're literally sitting here and talking about, and this is the reality of the space. And I know this may not have to do with AI or whatever, but this is what you get when you come on talks with us.
Yeah.
We are in a space where essentially, if somebody or a brand came along, I don't care if Kim Kardashian came along and said, "Hey, we're going to come out with this milk white version of Skims,
Mm-hmm.
and now it's purchasable in milk tokens," and she does it for one day. You're talking about something that literally will blow up overnight with the right strategic partnership. If Got Milk decided that, hey, we're all about milk and we're going to open up a place where you can exchange your stuff into milk tokens.
Dude, but also, do you remember the Got Milk campaigns? Just start those again and launch it with Sydney Sweeney. It's a no-brainer.
Oh my goodness.
It's
Or you can
a
even take the
slam
old,
dunk, dude.
bro, you can
All
even
the
take the
memes are
old,
Got Milk memes already.
bro, and you can literally just take the old, like you said, the old Got Milk memes and just put her head over them and then just literally AI generate a milk mustache, and then put the token in there. And that's it, bro. Like, literally just replace her head.
Imagine this with Sydney Sweeney's face.
That's it, bro. Over and over and over and over on every single Got Milk thing. And just put a little milk mustache every single time. Milk mustache. Every time, bro. Every time. It doesn't even have to match. It can be on Dr. Phil's head for all we give a damn. And
Oh,
that's it.
I didn't know. Silk Milk did it. Probably got sued.
Yeah, bro. So then now it's like, so then now maybe instead of putting actual milk, you put just like the token. across their you know what I mean? It's like a bunch of little milk tokens across. I got a milk mustache, just straight tokens. Like that's the type of marketing that changes the name. That people are like, oh, and then now the ambassadors or people like yourselves or people that are holding will be like, oh, well, if they're doing that, now I can spend my time doing a bunch of other stupid things too. And then it starts an army. That's why XRP is what it is.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of people that just got crazy, and most of them don't even know what the hell they're holding.
True. I mean, I was well, back in the day, I was an XRP maxi for a minute.
Bro.
I got a down payment for a house out of it.
Exactly. Because of the simple fact that during that time, everybody was going hard for XRP to the point where at that time they weren't beating the SEC. The bull market wasn't set up the way it is now. It was actually better then than it is now. And there's more regulation clarification now than there was then.
Right. But I think what people never really understood about Ripple is it's never designed to be more than like a couple of dollars.
Yeah, it can't be.
Like, yeah, they keep letting it more because the whole point of it is to be a liquidity transfer pool for the banks. And if it's really high in value, it doesn't serve that purpose.
It can't be like I've seen like, and again, we keep on getting off track because we're supposed to be working on the website. But like again, it's like when people come in there like, oh yeah, XRP is going to get to $500 a coin. It's like you don't even understand the system of what it's supposed to like. No bank is going to be paying $500 a coin to hold something that could be liquidated easy, and they don't have control over it. That makes no sense.
Right, especially when it's supposed to be a settlement token for the financial payment systems.
They don't want to pay obscene prices per coin. Like,
no, yeah,
but you can't tell that in the XRP army because essentially they think that, oh yeah, it's got to go to the moon and it's lower cost and everything. It's like, bro, you're not even understanding that the people that came out with it are literally telling you it's not meant to be all this other stuff that you guys are doing.
Mm-hmm.
It just happened to be because you guys in crypto, we can't control what you do with the coin, and that's the decentralization of it. It's just funny times, bro, to be honest, man.
Not to divert too much more, the other coin I made money on at that point in time was this token, Basic Attention Token. But the reason I want to call it out is because their product and business and service is what inspired Playhouse in many ways.
I've read a lot about them.
I read about them and what they were doing while I was working in my first job at the small ad tech company. Mm-hmm. And I was reading up about all the privacy law changes, and basically Basic Attention Token was like, we're going to build a browser that doesn't allow cookies to track you ever. And you will go to this other tab where we will have ads all the time, and you can earn back tokens for looking at and interacting with those ads. Oh, and the rest of your internet experience will be protected by the Brave browser, which is what, Basic Attention Token is for using the Brave browser, which is a privacy. It's like DuckDuckGo powered by Web3.
Yeah.
But they got it right from the beginning. The browser is in many ways the user's smart wallet. It's the entry point that they have to access the internet and everything on the internet. Mm-hmm. And so their profile within that browser application is their digital identity while they operate online. So if you use Google Chrome, Google owns yours. If you use Safari, Apple owns yours. And if you use Brave, then you might own yours. Mm-hmm. But on a different, kind of note, Microsoft owns DuckDuckGo, so like be wary when you think that DuckDuckGo is your privacy, because they own, I forget what their browser's called. I mean, their browser's called Bing. Oh, it's Microsoft. I'm forgetting. It's right here. They used to have Microsoft Explorer. Now it's Microsoft Edge. But I think people use DuckDuckGo, or is that just a search engine? Anyways,
I think DuckDuckGo is like a search engine, but then now, I like I said, it might be in the same boat though.
And I think I'm confusing DuckDuckGo with Firefox, but then Firefox is with Mozilla, and Mozilla I think is an open source foundation, so that's probably about as safe and good as Brave, but Web 2 version. But
Mm.
long story short, this was the other one that mooned alongside Ripple that allowed me to get my down payment on my house. And
Shout out to crypto. People think it's internet money.
yeah, but I will always be holding bat and have respect for Brave and what they do because, they're in the same spirit as what Playhouse is doing. We just, are trying to do it differently. I think that, the cookies are useful to the businesses and cutting the users in on that value exchange is much better than creating the privacy container because they're not doing anything to facilitate composability, which is what Playhouse is doing.
Mm. So I seen you had so that way we can give people a little bit of what they usually come for.
Sure.
Um, you had some stuff in Chat GPT. You want to kind of go over those kind of things?
Yeah, we can. So it might be easy. I'll show you what we have to set up and
Yeah.
then why I prompted. So I wrote these just based off our conversation. I was like, the problem simply is big food is broken. And, maybe there's a better way to say that, but that's what
I mean, it makes you think twice. It's real simple. It's Bigfoot is broken. You'd be like, what does that mean? Read more.
and then it says, and the farmer's market is only open on Sundays.
But could you put Saturdays and Sundays?
Yeah.
Saturdays, yeah, Saturdays and Sundays. I think. Yep, Saturdays and Sundays. Yep, there we go.
The current food system is failing us. So basically I had this right up top, and then I was like, I knew I wanted 2 to 3 sentences that talked about the topic in a specific way. So that's what I was going to Chat GPT to ask for. So I said, can you write a 2 to 3 sentence blurb about produce matrix? Oh, did I think I started with the solution. I didn't even, I wrote these headlines first, but then I started addressing this one first because I just made it easier.
Yeah.
I wrote Grubhub for local produce just to try to put an idea of an app in people's heads. And then helping you access farm fresh food on the daily. Because in the solution section, it's all about what you're doing. So
Yep.
I think what it boils down to is that's what you're doing. And this is one good way to maybe shorthand it. Probably not because it's Grubhub, but maybe because it's Grubhub. I don't know.
Yeah.
But ultimately, so I started down here at the bottom. And so I went in and I said, can you write me a 2 to 3 sentence blurb about Produce Matrix, a Web3 powered marketplace, bringing together local farmers and farmers market customers via an app that deliver the produce for easy access to make the cheap price goods accessible on a more on-demand basis. This is for a home landing page section on our solution. And so it spit out. Produce Matrix revolutionizes the way you access fresh, locally sourced produce, leveraging the power of Web3 technology. Our innovative platform connects local farmers and farmers market enthusiasts through a user-friendly app, facilitating the delivery of high-quality, affordable price goods right to your doorstep. Experience the convenience of on-demand access to fresh produce, supporting local agriculture and community health. So, basically, I said, okay, awesome. Now, the same length, help us write a problem blurb that succinctly addresses the following issue. Big food is broken. The farmer's market is only open on Sundays. Fresh produce from the grocery store is too expensive, and the labels around chemical usage are misleading. What people are actively trying to avoid while buying healthy. The farmer's market is open for a small window of time, a single day of the week if you live somewhere dense enough to have that, or rural enough. The cost of produce at the grocery store is significantly more than at the farmer's market, inflation, etc. And so it wrote, the current food, it's better to read. It says, the current food system is failing us. Traditional farmers markets with their limited operating hours are inaccessible to many, while grocery stores offer fresh produce at a steep price, often with ambiguous labeling on chemical usage that health-conscious consumers are striving to avoid. This situation is exacerbated by inflation, widening the affordability gap and making it challenging for individuals to access healthy fresh produce regardless of where they live.
Gotta
right?
like this shit.
And it's so much easier to work front backwards. Like you've got your solution, right? And so
Yeah.
then you give it a leading presentation on the problem, so it just knows how to hook, line, and sinker it for you when you come back to your solution, right? Because it
Yeah.
already knows the conclusion basically. And then down here, um, nice. So you can finally see this. It says break free today, join Produce Matrix, save money on fresh, locally sourced produce, and beat big food.
I like it.
And
We
grab
don't
the
go at
link.
anybody. Just call it big food. At the end of the day, I don't know if that's is that even a term. I don't think I've ever heard anybody say big food like when we're referring to like food and production. I like the term because it gives you like this, not to say a villain, but it's like I've never heard. It's like big pharma, but it's like I've never heard big food ever used in my life.
Looks like we got a few places using it. National Institute, Big Food, Food Systems, and Global Health. It's for sure been a term since 2012 in some academic circles.
So then it can be a prestigious academic term then.
Yeah, nice. I just didn't want to call it big agriculture, because I was like, it's so much bigger than just the agriculture industry.
Yeah, it's just food in general. Because then it leads into, like I said, it's like because my thought process is, obviously people that are gonna, vegan restaurants and whatnot too, they're gonna want to sell meal prep things, being able to do that on the produce matrix, get those delivery. Um, and this is just a little tweak. I know since I wasn't gonna be able to deliver currently now, I didn't know if I was gonna have delivery on there now as an option
Mhm.
to start, and obviously that's a small tweak.
Oh yeah.
Just so that way it's something that we get to. Obviously, we already kind of know what we would do for the delivery process, but with this first portion of it, we'll see. But it's just probably going to be more on the little bit of a later stages as we move to that process. But everything else, I mean,
I think I was just excited when I was making it, and
oh
I'm
yeah,
really
yeah, yeah. No, like I said, I mean, you get that's my thing is like everything, like that's literally the whole premise of it. My main thing is that like when I go to start talking to these investors and stuff, they're like, "Oh, how are you gonna do delivery?" I'm like, "Yeah,
yep,
so I am, but not yet." You know what I mean? It's just
yep,
like, but I actually did have a conversation about possibly somebody that might be able to do that.
cool.
So it may not be as far reaching as as I'm thinking. But again, too, like I said, it's just trying to figure, the best layout so that way it's just an easy, quick thing, and then people just now, like you said, fill in the name information stuff at the bottom,
Hmm.
and then just send that information. I mean, and then reach out to get in contact. Oof, shoot.
And what I really want to do is get this on your own website at some point. Um, so I don't know if we need to buy that or if you have one.
Yeah, shoot, we can even look at domains.
Sweet.
Um,
One thing I was gonna do is gonna add you to this website for now too. Actually, we should put it up on the real domain before we add to the website because there's no point in uploading all of the data to the build website.
bet.
So that'll just be double the work. But
Let's,
anyways, what are
let's
you
see.
looking to get? We talk it for dash in between, and then you use produce matrix on.
Yeah, let's see. Let's see which ones. I think let's see dash in between first.
Let's see what they got for this. So they got dash in between.net, dash in between AI.co. So do
.us.
you want to do dash in between written out, or do you want to do dib?
I think maybe DIB. But we can do DIB and see.
Let's see what's there. Dib.ai.
DIB. No, I've seen people use XYZ.
It's a new agey one for
Yeah.
sure. Uh, it's expensive.
Man. Basically, we're sitting here, we're looking at Web 2 NFTs, bro.
Right? $100 a month for 5 months.
$100 a month?
For 5 months.
What in the world? That is a terrible smart contract.
Well, I mean, it's the lease to own.
Oh, they got lease to own domains, bro? What?
Yeah. Yeah, look, it's because it's 15 characters or less. That's why.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Dude, people bought all like the 3-character websites a long time ago. The same way, exactly like you said, Web 2 NFTs.
Bro. And then you just saw that, I think was it GoDaddy that just recently just did the deal with ENS?
Did GoDaddy do a deal with ENS?
I think either GoDaddy or
Oh,
Yep.
wow.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, bro. I meant to say, I thought you were seeing this. Yeah,
I did
bro.
not.
Yeah, bro. I seen it the other day. I was like, oh. And then ENS just pumped, I think, to like $20 or something like that again. So, yeah, bro.
Dude, when when are they doing SNS?
That's the next question, because now it's like, who's going to be the one to do that?
I hope it's GoDaddy, and I don't hope it's GoDaddy. I hope it's GoDaddy because I use GoDaddy for a lot of stuff right now, but I hate GoDaddy, and they should, yeah. Oh, that's dope. I'm so jealous. I wish I bought ETH names, but I also don't. You know?
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, I realize, because I think I have like maybe like 2, but like I don't use them. I just have them just to have them. And I need to actually start loading up on, especially like, for instance, like I need to get like my own, dash in between ones and all these other like .sol and stuff like that. I've been thinking about it, but then I'm like, okay, let me not say the chances of, but like you never know. Somebody comes and
Right.
buys your shit now. It's like $1,000, and you're like, fuck, I should have bought this shit forever ago. I knew it.
100%, dude. That's how I feel about a lot of this stuff.
I think let's go with. Let's see if Produce Matrix is available.
You can get it for 1 cent. I think that one's a no-brainer. We're gonna buy that one.
Yeah.
Do you want to buy it, or do you want me to buy it?
Huh? Yeah, shit. I mean, too. I can buy it.
Cool. I mean, I just let me know. We'll have to talk through. Basically, you and I will do a screen share so that we can point the domain at my server, and then I will transfer all the files onto the site, and then it could be live. Basically, in that case, I would make this the home page, and then, well, you would still probably want another web domain for.
I mean, I'll probably just buy another one. Well, because honestly,
Yeah, I mean, with this only being $1, why not?
Yeah, I'm about
But
to.
it says it's a 3-year term, so in reality, it's $22. Just so you know.
I mean, that's fine.
Unless you want to buy 3 years, and then let's see, we'll confirm. View cart. It's $12 for 1 year, so nice. And then it renews at $22 a year.
How much is it for the 3?
3 years, it was $45.
I mean, sounds like a pretty good deal.
I mean, do whatever you want.
Yeah,
3 years for $45 would be, you would end up saving like $10.
$10. I know I don't have to worry about it. Sounds like a pretty good deal.
I mean, like I always just do it for a year because I'm cheap. So that's all.
Yeah, now that you're saying that too, I mean, I might as well just lock it up for a year and then be like, okay, if I want to come back and renew it, I'll just renew it for the whole 3 years. Yeah, I'll just do the 1 year.
As long as you're confident you're gonna either notice your card failing within 4 months of the payment lapsing,
Yeah,
you're gonna be fine, I'm sure.
yeah.
Well,
Shoot. Well, let me ask you this question: would it be easier for you to do it so that way you could just literally unplug it, and then I could just, I don't know how you want to, or I mean, I could do it and just pay it and just send you the information. However, it may, maybe it'd
it,
probably be easiest if I actually buy the domain.
it is slightly harder to have you buy it, but I also am like, not your keys, not your, whatever. So I'd rather you have it, to be
Yeah,
honest.
I'll do it. I'll do it real quickly. Similar to how I did with, like I said, with my mom's stuff, and I'll send that over to you, get you all
Sweet.
that back end stuff. I'll do that today.
Cool.
And then we can get that knocked out. And then what I'll do, and this will be my homework, is I'll start looking at those domain names for dash in between page, so that way we can get a domain for that as well too.
Cool. And I will get the change to Produce Matrix. In the meantime, this website is live, so you can use it, and it'll collect any emails that come in. It's not going to forward or anything right now.
Yeah, no, I don't need that. Could you send that to me in a text by chance?
Yeah. Question: if I post a comment right now, can you see it?
Did you post it right now?
I think so.
No, not well. Yes, I did. Now I do.
Cool. In StreamYard?
Yes.
Dope. Okay, cool.
Cool. I got that now. Yeah, because what I want to do is now, especially too, even like going like Keystone or networking stuff, I'm gonna have one of those little NFC cards, and so I'll just be able to just tap it to people's phone and send them straight to the Produce Matrix page, so I don't have to repeat myself so many times about what I'm trying to do.
Sweet.
Did you also too? I can give you one of. Do you have? I can give you one of those cards. Did you get one of those from Keystone?
I don't know. Maybe.
Because I know Ken Ma was giving them out, and basically it's just they're giving out NFC cards for people to be able to load with their like contact information or different things like that.
That's what I was looking at my wallet for. I have something like that. It's not from them, but it's called Dot.
Yeah. Basically they're just giving out free Dot cards, but it's like you can just load them and then you just loaded it with whatever you need. So I was just gonna load Produce Matrix on there. I had my what's it called card on there too. I said my card. I had my Web3 ebook on there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and I was like, here, and just tapping on somebody's card, and they're like, oh, yeah. So it's just an easy way to kind of get things out, stuff like that.
One of our investors, shout out Nick Brown. He's one of my really good friends from growing up. Him and my buddy Nick Elise were better friends, and I grew up with Nick, and then I met Nick Brown in high school. Anyways, he's a big supporter of Playhouse, obviously, since he invested in us very, very early. But he sent us a 4-pack of the Dot cards because he's like, I saw these and I thought they'd be great for the sales team. Exactly what you said. You just send people right to the thing, and it's like makes everything so seamless. And
yeah.
Anyway, I wanted to shout him out because that's what it made me think of.
Yeah. Because it is, especially at networking stuff, is like, oh yeah, contact, boom. It's like preloaded.
It just saves everyone the hassle. Those NFC chips are so nice.
Bro. And like I said, I can't wait to, like I said, that's another thing too, because you'll have merch, because I want to do NFC stuff with merch, because then now it's like you'll have your NFT, and then now it'll just take you exclusively to your NFT, especially like I said, once we come out with the Snob stuff, you already know we're gonna have Snob exclusive merch tied to an NFT, and the only way you can get that is redeeming it through the NFT. Boom.
I'm almost like the NF whatever should be like a unique experience that only you unlock, and you use your NFT to unlock the RFD chip for the experience, and it's like connected to your Apple Vision Pro or something somehow. I don't know. Like,
bro, it can be so many things.
And then that way, like basically people who don't have your NFT who steal your clothes or something can't unlock the benefits of the shirt,
Literally.
right?
It's like literally you stole a safe and have no key.
Uh-huh.
Oh my
And it's
goodness.
and you can't blow it open either.
Bro, because then now it's like so just holy shit, bro. You just give me an idea because
But you would always need the shirt to have the experience. So it would be limited and temporal in a way. So it would be a really cool, unique, artsy NFT in a different way also.
oh my god, because then now you would just simply tie whatever it is. So like maybe for instance, like the Snob app, right? For your music playlist is
Mhm.
locked by and it's token gated. So the only people that can currently get on there are Snob holders. The way
Oh,
you
for
get into the
sure.
Snob app
Love that.
is you got to tap your sweater. That's the only way you for
Dude,
now.
yeah, but also VIP sections, like prove you're a real fan. Oh, you have OG merch, it's just baked in.
Yeah. So then now you can even do things like, oh, hey, everybody, your NFC chip has been updated. Be able to just scan your NFC chip and it puts your current NFT into the upcoming raffle. And the raffle is based on paper. If you have enough paper, if you
In
have enough
August, I
paper,
think
it'll put you automatically in. So now it's on a smart contract to be able to get Taylor Swift tickets, Rihanna tickets, Beyonce tickets, whatever. Or even like I said, next small concert. Boom.
let's see.
Because like I said, bro, it's like because then now it's like you do that with a couple artists, and like I said, it's just being like, hey, we're gonna just put NFC chips, sew them in, or whatever it may be, and go from there.
So I met Brandon at NFT NYC 2 years ago, and he is
Oh shit!
doing what you're talking about, which is putting RFID chips inside of clothing. Well, he was when I talked to him last. Maybe that's not. Oh no, that is what looks like they're doing. Web3 Outfitters.
Holy shit!
Um, so they might still be going. I don't know. I have to check in, but they're he's like a materials science guy
Yeah,
and an engineer that my friend Amna, who's also an engineer, Web3 kind of person. They went to college or high school together. I don't
yeah,
remember exactly, but we met at NFT Central or NFT NYC, and he was telling me about his project at the time. But he showed me the clothes. We already have the RFID in the clothing. We've done many sample runs, so we've got it working and everything. So they were just trying to build out, obviously, their DAO and community.
maybe that's a conversation we need to figure out how we can all three of us have a conversation together to do a collab for the merch for Snob, and then now having artists release their albums specifically as RFID shirts with the album cover, and that's how we start releasing Snob artists.
I think so I totally agree, and that was why I was so interested in talking with him back then, because that Snob was still very much the idea and the plan and everything. Um,
Because if you
but
get a couple Kansas City people with RFID shirts and you can touch their stuff or scan it, no different from a dot card, and their whole playlist comes up or their upcoming events. Like I said, if you have, because my thought process is then now it's like your Snob profile will be attached to your RFID stuff. So now it's like almost like me having a master shirt. If I'm the
sure,
actual artist, I only have this one of one that if I go to networking stuff and you scan it, you'll get my old upcoming list. But then my other merch is my music videos, my playlists, my now it's just advertising and more or less. And
I
again,
think
this is why I love the Snob idea so much is that it literally you can change how music marketing and advertising is completely done.
that all could be super fun and true, and I think the rest of the beauty of it is really it's like you said, you're just imagining new sales paths or new activations, and the reality is, who knows when we tap out of that, because the creativity is really how you repurpose the tool of like, okay, we have this thing that we can attach whatever experience we want to, and we can then also choose a filter system that is persistent forever and has the same criteria. We can define what that is. And
Yeah.
it's like, those the way that those tools are structured are like designed for an artist.
Yeah, bro.
You know,
That's why this tech now is like it's gotten to the creative form to where now it's so fluid that as long as you're creative and you can get your hands on this stuff, it's endless, like what you said. And I think that's what's so interesting to people like us, that it's like now it's probably the most tangible for you to take your most crazy idea and be able to see it come to fruition.
Yeah, at least in concept format, and that's super easy these days. And like, we're each day we get super, super close to literally, we were talking at the very, very beginning of this call about manifestation, but like in some sense, what manifestation, telekinesis, all of those things may or may not be real, but we're entering an environment where augmented reality is going to make our perception of that feel real, because our neuro impulses are going to be monitored either externally through one of these headphone technologies, or if you're crazy enough to go get the neuroplant, Neuralink implant or something. But they're going to read your brain signals and shit. And the thing is, we can decrypt the messaging now, because we can take what you're saying and correspond that with the brain signals producing you saying stuff, and that's what allows us to decode what you're thinking when you're not saying something.
Yeah, bro. It's That's why, like I said, man, I know you said it earlier, and we can't obviously wrap things up, but it's like I think that one of the things that you mentioned earlier is that right now most people aren't able to grasp what again, it's the matrix concept. It's like you've been in this thought process that, oh, it takes so long to do this said thing, or this is the way that said things are done, or this is the way business is supposed to be done. But I was listening to this thing about technology, is that essentially technology, it does not care about any of that. Like, it does not care one bit. It just wants to create the most efficient path, and that's it. It doesn't care about your ego. It doesn't care how tradition was done. It doesn't care about none of that. And I think that for the legacy, and this is just one thing again from the conversation you told me, when it comes to the data and why most of these Web2 businesses essentially will fail, is because due to the old paradigm thought process of how things were done, they cannot make these moves to adapt to this very adaptive environment. And it's like the dinosaurs trying to move out of the way of the asteroid. When you're basically the size of a skyscraper, that shit's going to hit you regardless.
They're just in denial. Everything you're saying, they're just basically in denial. They're like, we like the way that things are. We don't want our status quo challenged, and
Yep.
we will be entrenched until the very last minute, because that's how we're incentivized. Everything you said.
And it's worked for hundreds of years, and nothing's had needed to change. Well, for the last 100 years, there's nothing like AI. There was technologies, but there were rudimentary analog versions of technology. We're talking about stuff that exponentially grows in seconds.
And unfortunately, I think the ego of some of these people is they'd rather see us bomb back to the Stone Age than have the peasants empowered on the same level as them.
Exactly. And that's what we're starting to see with some of this AI regulation and stuff like that we can definitely get into. But at the same time, too, that's a whole nother podcast in itself. We want to talk about that. But, bro, I mean, again, man, like I said, I'm excited for what's to come. Especially with the fact that, one, it's so much early. Two, we're able to put together some of these creative ideas. And again, I think this is what's great for people to be able to see, is that we're doing this with, there's nobody backing us, to be honest. I mean, we have interesting conversation, but like compared to like a Yuga Labs and we have nothing compared to these businesses. But when it comes to this space, creativity is always going to win, and incentives and positive alignment is always going to win. And I think that with the tools that we're trying to build, it's not just trying to get people to pay us money, which is always good, but it's being able to add value while also giving people that reassurance that we're here to be trusted as well.
100%. I was trying to like make this more visible, and I'm having trouble because of the layout. But this is exactly what we're talking about. The yellow circle says predictive analytics systems.
Mm-hmm.
This is what they're. This is Web 2 strategy.
Yeah. It's terrible.
Yep. Let's not let this happen.
Not much too much to say there. It's just like at the end of the day, it's like you can have a swimming pool in the back of your pool, the back of your house that you can swim in. Or
Mhm.
you can have a swimming pool that's owned by the community and they tell you when you can swim, if you can bring people, how many people you can bring, and all this other stuff. But you did pay to get that pool built. But they're making all the rules on how it's done and all these other things. So I think that's at the end of the day, most people, again, like kind of like what you were saying before with Playhouse, is that the little people, the common person doesn't understand the value of data. That's why we just give away our cookies and we think nothing of it.
Yep.
But the entrepreneur, the business person that knows that I need every ounce of data to be able to truly know my customer, that allows me to be better as a business person, as a business, and all these other things. You start realizing that I can't give my information to Facebook, Amazon, just for the convenience of being able to sell to everybody in the world.
Mhm.
It doesn't work out.
And the unfortunate reality is, for now, you do have to make that deal with the devil because you're better off with it. Like right now, you have to give that data to them because otherwise you're probably missing out on your customers.
Yep.
But if you're not taking that data back from them, then and you're buying ads from them, then you're losing money.
Yep.
That's
just giving free money. You're just giving free money at that point.
Yep.
They're charging you to run ads. They're selling your data as you bought ads to give them more information. It's like literally like paying your drug dealer to kill you.
Yeah, no, it's exactly that.
Like literally, it's like, hey man, please put fentanyl in my drugs, please. I'm begging, overdose me.
But also, don't tell me. I don't want to know.
Don't tell me, please. Tell me it's the best thing on the market. Tell me it's for my safety that you're putting this extra potent poison into my system every single day. It's again, like I said, we can do it on and on, bro. But like I said, man, appreciate it again. Hey, this is another episode of You and Me ChatGPT, ladies and gentlemen. And that's the infinity box. We need to start doing that. Maybe that's our goal. Is that to leave the matrix? We're gonna leave you in the infinity box. That's what we're gonna do. Every time we're just gonna leave you in the infinity box, and you're gonna have to guess which exit box you're in. Are you in this reality? Are you in reality 1000, 1500? Because at the end of the day, we're all in these multiple universes. At the end of the day, Marvel showed us that. So again, man, appreciate it, bro. And we'll wrap up on Thursday in class too. Maybe we'll get our next guest in class too.
Yeah, I hope so. That's where we sourced the last one. So
yeah, it sounds good. All right, bro.
Talk to you later.
Yep.